Greetings. I wanted to tell a different kind of story. This is called The Weight of the World. Okay, so everything has a call to adventure. In this case, we're going to have a kind of semi-scripted moment where a character finds a ball in her room. And it's about, baseball sized. And it starts following her. And it is the weight of the world. It's very, very heavy. So we immediately switch into an activity where the kids try to imagine trying to lift it, but of course, if it's the weight of the world, you can't lift it. We might do pantomimes with attempting, or even just freezing a tableau, right? You can call them freeze frames if you want. And so we pose the question to them, which is, have you ever felt a big feeling that you didn't want to feel? And we can allow it to go down this path. Now you're immediately noticing the next step is denial. And sure enough, we're going to go through the stages of grief, because that's what it's really about. This one is about they're walking in a line, and whoever's the line leader, maybe one of the teachers or someone helping facilitate this, when they turn around, everyone freezes. And so the questions that are part of this activity are about, when you pretended to be this weight of the world, did you feel wanted? And also, flipping the script, did ignoring the ball make it go away? But we're not going to leave there. We need to kind of keep moving the ideas forward. So anger, we're not going to directly call it anger. Not when we're talking to the kids. We're wondering, do we want this ball to follow her? It goes everywhere with her. Maybe we can use emotions to help understand. And this one's very open because we don't want to have a fixed path. So, what emotions they choose? Do they choose to just scream at it? Is it a voice thing? Is it choosing an emotion and telling it? But here's the thing. However we infuse emotions into this, voiced, more mime work, if they're drawing the emotions, whatever they come up with, emotions make the ball grow. When they notice that, when we announce it, it's like, the ball is bigger now, but it still weighs the same. We have to ask, do we want the ball to grow? Now, we have to make it a real question that we're actually asking, which means they're allowed to give either answer. They could say yes, or they could say no. We have to be prepared for either one. So if they say, yes, we want it to get bigger, well then how do we add more emotions to it? And again, this is going to be up to them. If they say no, how do we take away emotions from it? And the thing is, they're going to start kind of coming up with mixed ideas on how to change the ball. But no matter what they do, there's no way to be non-emotional about it. So the ball will continue to grow. We will suggest, what if maybe the kids, we can, as the ball grows, we try to lift the ball. Maybe that's a good idea if we're trying to make it bigger by having more kids in a circle around to lift it. If they're trying to shrink it, they don't understand pure logic. They're a little young for that. So even their attempts to do a reverse of an emotion will be the opposite emotion, and it'll probably still grow. So every emotion makes it grow. Don't tell them the formula. Let them figure this out. Okay? Now, so bargaining's not going to work. Slowly the ball starts growing faster. So it's accelerating in its growth. Try to get both my hands in the image. And the kids will slowly feel the weight more and more, because at first they can hold it, but it's just on the ground. But eventually, it takes up the entire room, and you have the kids lie on their backs, imagining the weight of the world on top of all of them, as they try to take big belly breaths. And then it bursts. And the air is thick with all the feelings of joy and sadness and happiness and fear, and all of it soaks into them. All at once. And this is what grief is. It's all of the emotions, all at once. Grief isn't an emotion, right? Grief is a series of emotions. It's a complicated series of emotions. And so I want to just kind of touch on some of the social emotional learning pieces that this connects to. Grief, since it is, identifying one's emotions is the key to self-regulation. Well, if we just say grief is an emotion and the kid's grieving, right, but if grief isn't an emotion, then having a kid self-regulate can't just be, the color rainbow is my favorite color, right? Being able to be specific. Right now, I'm just angry. And I'm allowed to be. Okay, well, how do we want to channel that? Right? Being able to identify these pieces. I'm just sad. And you're allowed that, and it's good that you're aware of that. Moving along to try to connect these, one of the functions I'm reading right from it, one of the functions that play serves for kids is to allow them to approach something that might be frightening in a way that is less frightening and more understandable, right? This is from the Edutopia website and articles. And this is specifically about grief. And so we're using this metaphor of the weight somebody feels in the world as a way to talk about something that won't leave you alone, that is constantly with you, that is too heavy to bear. And we then had from the other textbook, the recommended textbook, the Drama for the Inclusive Classroom, as they solve problems while acting out a scene, they begin to understand the world around them. And I want to just add, because I completely see the connections between these, that doesn't mean, it does not mean that we have to give them a realistic scenario. It doesn't mean we have to show them what shopping is like. Emotions are more real than reality itself. And that's me saying that. And so if it's more real than reality, then emotions are how they're going to navigate a situation. They can be sad because something is sad by definition. And it'll help them navigate how to deal with being sad. That's what the whole point of this is. We take them en route through it. We allow them to grieve something. And apparently I'm a little over time. So I'm really excited. Maybe someday I will get to do this. In any case, till next time.